This, what your anxiety gives you a big clue. Your anxiety is your adrenal glands. They sit on top of your kidneys, which filter the lymph system in the vaginal wall, in the ovaries, in the uterus, in the leg, in the hip, in the pancreas, in the liver, in your brain. The kidneys filter the body's predominant fluid, which is the sewer fluids, head to toe. This just means in your vaginal wall, you're not moving your lymph. The acidosis is starting to break down vaginal cells. Simply use the douching. That'll turn you around. Don't start having them do a lot of issues to you because, you know, I mean, they're taking off down what they know, and they're, you know, looking for cervical cancer or whatever. You're going to already attack it. You're going right on and get in that hill all tea, but systemically move your lymph. Depression is parathyroid. Well, I've already seen vitiligo. That's pituitary. So you've got issues head to toe. Get on some glandulars for the pituitary. That might pick up the thyroid. If not, we'll deal with that. Parathyroid, very important for depression. You're not utilizing calcium well. That's obvious. So depression, parathyroid, anxiety, adrenal glands. Obviously, of course, the kidneys aren't filtering the lymph. That's why the atypical cells, you want to use the douching. I'm telling you right off. It's made for that. Every woman I know has done that. Very successful at converting these. But you still have to understand that you're not moving the lymph system down in your pelvic area well. So you're going to see ovarian and uterine problems coming. And goes on and on and on there. So Smitten, you help your sis there. Have her review this video, but then you're learning a lot. You've reviewed a lot of videos. I remember your name, honey. So help your sis out. And sis, if you don't do it, you're going to end up with more serious problems. And let me tell you, if you knew where you were going, you'd do this first. So get on it, and you'll be very successful. Typical problem we have in here every day. This is Double Raw Star. Thanks, Dr. Morse, for answering a question about colostrum. I'm not, you know, when we leave the milk period of time at 1.5 years old to 2 years old, we're done with that. Our growth should be then from the fruits and the berries and things. That's all the chemistry we need for that. Our glands should be on top, the pituitary for growth, things like this. If you're feeling down like that, that shows that your weakness is showing forth in the adrenals and things like this. You shouldn't need to take a food source to pump you because in reality, the body moves more by energy. I mean, if you look at the bottom line of why you eat is energy, isn't it? And the bottom line to chemistry is magnetic frequencies of energy, right? So if you start tearing this apart more and more and more, you're going to go right back up to a simple word called energy. And whether your body can create it or channel it, one of the two. And more likely it's channeling. Even cells channel energy, except unless for obstructions. So you should feel, if you need to take colostrum and you don't feel like it's mucus forming, okay. But I can tell you what, you should have good growth factors by now. You don't need these colostrum. Matter of fact, colostrum fades away there after the first few months. So really, colostrum is only initially there for a very short period of time, actually. So there's really no need as a human adult to have any, and a young child to have these kind of growth factors. Growth factors is simply about the cells and hormones and steroids and all these type of issues. And that should be a natural product of cell vitality and cell health. If you're compromised in the vitality of a cell or the strength and the production of a cell, then you've got to go make those cells healthy. And making those cells healthy, then you can swing around and use the fruitarian lifestyle, especially for adults. But again, in cancer cases, I've noticed the opposite. Matter of fact, I was telling you about this Amish lady that didn't think I was doing a job fast enough, went to a nutritionist, and the nutritionist put her on colostrum. Well, her tumor started growing real fast then, and she went back to the nutritionist and said, look, my tumor's growing. The nutritionist said, well, I can't help you anymore. Oh, that was nice. She couldn't help her in the first place. She just didn't know how to admit it. You know? So now she was bigger, and I had to get, and she, of course, came back, of course, because there's only one way. In the final analysis of this, there's only one way that I've ever found that you can get this. Truly get it right. Cool. I'm going to cool and green. the research I did on chemtrails. I found that interesting that you found that there's microscopic aluminum. Oh, that's scary. And barium tubes, designed to stay afloat in our upper atmosphere. The intention is to reflect the sun's lights away from the Earth. Now, if these if the heat is coming from the sun, then why is it colder as you get closer to the sun? It's all about light affecting atoms, isn't it? If you look at it spiritually, it's about how lights reflect off of atoms, isn't it? This is quite a long one here. This is a cousin, Sarah, 32-year-old, was feeling under the weather. This is quite an interesting thing. She had a cough. She's diagnosed with pneumonia. Of course, antibiotics didn't improve it because pneumonia isn't from bacteria. No pneumococcus here. Could be, but could not be. It's just congestion. We should get that. And then they took a second x-ray, saw no improvement, so they ordered a CAT scan because they suspected pneumonia had encapsulated. So the CT scan results showed tumors. And she had said she probably had lymphoma. And then this is when her suffering really began, because then they started getting in and biopsying her. I mean, she just started going, oh, let's go in and just check these lymph nodes and check this, then the pain and suffering started. And when in the bottom line, how are you going to get them out in the first place? So they, 15 freezing needles and 7 biopsy needles into 3 lymph nodes, pretty much chewing up the lymph nodes for her. That's cool. The procedure left her unbelievably swollen, no kidding, and sore for over a week. The biopsy was inconclusive. Too much inflammation? Well, no kidding. Since the invasion of her lymph nodes, she cycles through fevers, pulmonary embolism fevers. She had a pulmonary embolism? What? Basically, she has 4 to 5 fevers a day up to 103 degrees. She also very anemic with a hemoglobin count in the low 60s. Due to the inflammation, she was then scheduled for a bronchoscopy. Now, inflammation is what? What is inflammation? If you study inflammation like you do chemtrails, it's an immune response. Well, what's an immune response to what? Could we lightly say acids? Next was another biopsy, cut into her chest wall and took a sample close to the lungs. This surgery took a few hours and left her very swollen and very sore. That's because your lymph system is moving well in the first place. They're just going to create more trauma, more lymph toxicity doing this, of course. And then, of course, the lymph nodes are going to swell because of all this, and all they're getting worse. And now we're going to go in and cut part of the lungs out, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ugh. This biopsy was inconclusive, however, they did confirm lymphoma. Not the stage, they say she has Hodgkin's lymphoma. Then on the hematology, let me see, transfusion because of the iron, they did a bone marrow biopsy. They took another chunk out of her, blah, 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 blah. Sarah. Sarah, I hope you're reviewing these videos, sweetheart. Don't get yourself into any more trouble because this isn't a fun place to have trouble. So you really want to get yourself focused here and really start detoxing and get way up there. I'd do some serious grape fasting. I'd get on our lungs 2 and 3 lung tea. Start inhaling it, start drinking it. And really start pumping that lymph system. Get your kidneys going, get your adrenals up there, get your lymph system up pumping and filtering through those kidneys and get your body cleaned out. Go into the bowels, clean up the bowels. You're going to do some coughing. You are going to have cough with production. You weren't having so much of that. You got to break this loose. Your lymph nodes, that's just your lymph system backed up. And you don't, I mean, their way isn't the fun way. And the end result is not good. And if you let them go into radiation or something, it's just going to be worse. I get a ton of lung cancer in here post-radiation, so not good. I mean, their way is never good, in my opinion, unless it's surgeries or something that you really need, like new hips and knees and stuff. These guys are pretty good. But there's other cases, not so good. So this is the time where you have to roll up your sleeves, get very serious focused in your detoxification, and get your lymph nodes and lymph system moving. Vital to do this, so there's nothing you can do. We'll just sit and watch them get bigger and bigger, and you'll lose your part of your lungs, and then in time your lungs will fill up. You have to have them needle aspirated, where you go in and put a big needle in your lungs and pull out the. I mean, let me tell you, it is not fun. It's not worth going that way at all. You want to go the health way. Get your body healthy. You have to anyway. So go, Sarah, go. Learn, knowledge up, and don't walk with fear, sweetheart. You're young. Get this done with, and you'll be good the rest of your life. Go their way, and you'll be dealing with this rest of your life. 303. Hi, Doc. What kind of mortar and pestle? Oh, yeah, I talked about this. Wood. Some websites simply put fructose inclusive. Okay, I think I went over this one yesterday. Good. I wonder if I could juice the entire lemon with my juicer. Yeah, I don't generally juice rinds like some people like. A lot of oils, too much oils. Maybe if you use a little piece of rind, but don't need to juice the rinds of lemons or oranges and stuff, tell you the truth. Maybe just a little piece, but not even the primates eat the rinds. Very rarely do you see, maybe a tad bit, but not heavily so. Get some nice oils in there. Too many oils, though. Citrus oils are strong. I am 49. I have been vegan, mostly raw, for about 4 months. How long before jock itch goes away? Well, get on the herbs. Probably going to need those to help you. If not, it could be months and months and months. When you do it raw-wise, it could be a long time, my friend. You'd have to get into some serious fasting. That's why I love the herbs. Really need to take parasite in, get your lymph moving, get your kidneys filtering, go after those adrenals. Same type of thing, and really get that out of there. We have some creams for fungal problems and stuff, but reality is it's an internal problem. So get your kidneys and adrenals going, my friend. Get on the lymph system and pull that out. Might want to clean up your bowels while you're doing that, and you'll be okay. But doing it raw could take you a while, as you're seeing already. 4 months on the herbs and everything, you shouldn't have that by now. Clara, thanks for this. I don't know who you're talking about. Oh, little Justin. Isn't he cute? Justin is such a sweet kid. He's raised as raw as he can get. Now he's been, his dad. It's his dad. Mom a little, but dad. Feed him all kinds of things. He fed him. We were out eating one day, and he fed him some chicken, and he made him eat the chicken. Said, "Isn't this good? Isn't this chicken good?" Knowing that I despise meat and that I didn't want him to have ever any meat. That's my younger son. I am a regular with the pharmacy and always use credit card and live outside the U.S. Never a problem. You can expect this channel to be attacked since Dr. Morse speaks the truth to power. Much love, the Oracle Pearls. Yeah, I expect that too, but I can tell you, I've been anticipating stuff like that, so I've got a good legal team. And I'm ready to roll up my sleeves, and I think a lot of Americans are. So I wouldn't mind hitting the courts with some very powerful lawsuits to wake up some of these dead, sleeping people, because then I got to maintain spirituality but doing this, but at the same time, one's got to protect themselves. So, yeah, it's time to wake up, people. Wake up, FBI. Wake up, FDA. Wake up, government, because you see these protesters, all the cops, lining up, and now you're going to make Americans madder and madder and madder. And the worst thing you could do is really get them stirred up, because America's a little different than these other countries where they don't have the weapons. We all have weapons, and not afraid to use them. Our right to have them and use them. Now, on the spiritual side, we need to everybody take a deep breath and start giving everybody love. All these powerful people need to have, some meditation time. And so we need a wave of higher consciousness blowing across the land.